U.S. President Donald Trump says he will sign off on steep tariffs on steel and aluminum imports starting next week, hitting producers like South Korea and China. The Dow Jones Industrial Average slumped right after the announcement amid fears of a trade war. Our Jong-hong tells us more.
President Trump has made it clear that steel and aluminum exports to the U.S. will be subject to tariffs of 25% and 10% respectively. Trump is slated to sign an executive order next week, making it official. The plan was unveiled after a White House meeting with industry executives on Thursday. President Trump added the move is aimed at propping up the U.S. industry and creating jobs for American workers.
It'll be 25% for steel, it'll be 10% for aluminum, and it'll be for a long period of time. We'll be signing it in, and you will have protection for the first time in a long while, and you're going to regrow your industries.
He also said U.S. companies had been, quote, decimated and had been treated unfairly by other countries for decades. Analysts say it's unclear whether the rates of 25% for steel and 10% for aluminum will be instituted across the board or have some exceptions. Trade sources in Washington think the rates would not apply to Canada, which hires a number of American workers. In any case, if the rate turns out to be final, South Korea will be letting out a sigh of relief, as the U.S. Commerce Department had initially suggested dropping a tariff bomb of more than 53% on 12 countries, including Korea. Following Canada and Brazil, South Korea is the third largest exporter of steel to the U.S., with last year's export volume estimated at 3.65 million tons. Critics say Trump's measures will fail to boost jobs and even risk stoking a trade war with China. Beijing has already threatened to curb U.S. imports of soybeans, and the European Union says it will consider taking action as well. Jong-hong, Arirang News.